Yo, it's Teddy, Caravan Crypto, and today we're going to talk about what YouTube channels and people that I listen to when in regards to crypto. Yo, I can't stress this enough. You make the best decisions with the best information, all right? And I listen to certain people for certain reasons, and I'm going to give you, who I listen to, and why, right? So on my channel, like I don't really discuss news, right? We kind of just talk in more of like a broader way about cryptocurrencies, specifically Bitcoin, right? Like I wouldn't say I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. I don't think I'm going to be I don't think Bitcoin is going to be the only coin ever, but I really truly believe it is the best coin to hold on to. And I also think Ethereum is a great coin to hold on to, and there's a bunch of other coins that I think are cool. But I mainly talk about Bitcoin. And for the past 3 years, I've been getting all my information from a lot of different places. There were some places where I got bad info from, and I no longer drink from those wells anymore. And you'll see as you learn about cryptocurrencies, as you learn about how these things work, you'll see who you want to listen to, who gives you the best information, and you just have a better filter for what you want to entertain for making choices going forward. All right, so let's get into it. The first person that I always listen to every single day, and sometimes he uploads twice a day, is the Modern Investor. Okay, this guy, I don't even know his name, dude. He likes to invest in art. Also, he doesn't just invest in Bitcoin. He used to invest in gold heavy, and he didn't really pay cryptocurrencies much mind. And then one day he was just got intrigued by it, kind of like we all do, and he started to study it. And I know it took me about a good 5 or 6 months before I could really wrap my head around it, and I kind of just dabbled a little bit in the meantime. But once I got a firm grip on the understanding of what it is and how it works, I started to really just dive in, and it's kind of what you do. I think it's what everybody does. You get a little bit weary about it because it's new, but once you understand it, you can't deny it. And since you can't deny it, you kind of go all in. But yeah, the Modern Investor. What I like about him, look, reading is obviously going to be the way you want to learn about things, right? And video just does so much for you in terms of how you can learn. But what I like about the Modern Investor is he goes and finds articles, and then he pulls up the articles that he found. And I'll show you.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome
back
back
for another video. Hope you're all doing well, and that you're all having
He always does that every day, right? So, like right here, this is the article. Sorry, I watch things at like a really low resolution because I don't want it to take up too much data. But the article right here is Bitcoinist.com. Bitcoin price dives under 9,000, and as S&P 500 starts week off blood red, right? He shows you the article that he reads, and every time he opens up an article, he's just reading along with what is there, and then he gives his opinion. And I might be doing that one day if I run out of content to make, but that's what I like about him. And so it's different from other people who are just coughing up their opinions, because I'm drinking from the spring or the well that they're drinking from. I'm not just buying their bottle of water. And that's the analogy I like to use. So yeah, I like the Modern Investor. Every single day I watch his videos. They're somewhat long. Mine are way longer, but his are like a half hour, 40 minutes. Sometimes they're an hour long. But if you want to hear about all the news and have a sound mind to filter some of it, right? Or not filter, but interpret what we read, right? This is somebody I just agree with in a lot of ways on a lot of things. And yeah, this is the guy I listen to every day. All right, so there's him. I really like Lark Davis, the Crypto Lark, right? Seems like a very good-natured guy, and I like people who keep it honest about the government and banking institutions and the situations, the condition or the reality of finance today. Okay, this is another one of these guys that does that. Really cool guy. Seems he seems like a nerd, right? But I like nerds. Nerds, I think I'd like to think I'm a nerd a little bit. But seems like a cool dude, right? And keeps it real. And it offers a lot of perspectives that not everybody talks about, and brings up a lot of good points that you don't really consider normally. And that's why I like to listen to him. His videos are typically under 20 minutes. Usually they're like 10 minutes, honestly. But I like listening to him. He's a great guy. There's him. Then who else do we have here? Got Chico Crypto. All right, look, Chico Crypto. This is what I really like about him, is that when he investigates something, he dives very deep into it. And it's not like he's not like some dude who's like, oh, we got these secret documents that we found from somebody anonymously, sent them to me, and blah blah blah. Doesn't do all that. He goes to the websites. This is publicly available information that he finds. He connects dots from tweets and people who are on boards and whatnot. And so you look, if and I love what he says, the most trustless name in news, because he also offers where he got all of his information from. And yeah, man, I mean, you got to respect it, man. The methodology that he uses, the integrity of his scholarship is great, in my opinion. I'm not no Dr. Wesley Muhammad, you know what I mean? But this dude right here, man, Chico Crypto, he's tight, man. He's also not cutting his beard and his hair until Bitcoin breaks its all-time high again. All right, so he's dope, man. Chico Crypto. You want to learn about something like he also comes from a perspective. Don't get me wrong, okay? He's a little bit cocky, okay? And for some people, that might be a turn off. But for me, I can look past that, and I can look at the information and see how good it is. But he also points out some of the wrongdoers in the space. Like Justin Sun of Tron, even CZ of Binance. This is somebody he's exposed, people who he's exposed as having some less than genuine intentions and communications, and not so integrous people. But and that's what I like, and so some not everybody is going to come with that perspective, and I like Chico Crypto because he does come with that perspective, and he offers some really good insight into some of the people in the space, some of the projects in the space, and that's why I go to him for information, about certain things, right? So Crypto Lark raises great points, talking points that I think not a lot of people have. Modern investors, news every day with what I like to think is an accurate interpretation, and also having a background in investing in gold, investing in art, even real estate and whatnot. He also lives overseas. I believe he lives in London. I'm not sure, but I think he lives there. But he grew up in America. So, having a tie to both markets, I think, and having news coming from a guy that lives there is a plus to me. Who else, man? Andreas Antonopolous. I talked about him in a previous episode or video or whatever. This guy is like, the encyclopedia for cryptocurrencies. This guy is, you want accurate information. It's not necessarily news. It's not necessarily technical analysis, but it's technical information about blockchain, coding, cryptocurrencies, the societal impacts, financial policies, government positions and perspectives, and regulations and whatnot. Like for example, some of the things, like the first 3 epochs of Bitcoin. Like, dude, who's making a video like that? Bitcoin Q&A: is inflation necessary for the economy to work? You know what I mean? Nobody's really talking like that in relation to cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. And that's what I like about Andreas. He's also a guy that keeps it real about government, about the finance system. And it's impossible to get accurate information about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies without talking about the political implications, the societal implications, how it's going to impact the finance market, And you have a lot of guys out there who aren't coming from that perspective, and they're only really telling half the story, right? And so a lot of those guys are more like stocks guys. They're just in it just for profit. And don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? I'm in it for profit too. You know what I mean? Come on now, you can't blame a young brother with a small family. You know what I mean? An entrepreneurial mind to not think about the profit of this thing. But I also have an interest in seeing the global landscape change in a way that favors the everyday human being, the average person. And this is the perspective that Andreas comes from. And I really respect this guy, keeps it 100. If you were to just listen to one person on YouTube, I would pick Andreas Antonopolous. All right, what's next, right? We got my man's right here, BK, crypto trader, BK. Brandon Kelly. Now for trading, you want to learn how to trade? This is the guy. You want to talk to this guy. You want to listen to this guy. He keeps it real, keeps it 100, gives you all the info, and does it in a really with style, man, with some hip hop. You know what I mean? And I love this brother, man. We've already made a good amount of money with this brother, man, and all these cats have. I owe a lot of the positions that we are in to a lot of these guys that I first mentioned, for sure, right? Without them, if they didn't put out content the way they do, I don't know what I'd be, how good of a resource of knowledge I would be, and I'm not saying that I'm a great resource of knowledge right now, but I'm just saying I don't know how good of one I would be without listening to these guys, without them putting out content, right? So yeah, kudos, and I thank the God, you know what I mean? I thank a lot for these brothers, man. They're dope. All right, next we have this brother, man, Trevon James, very controversial brother. He was one of the promoters of BitConnect, and that was a scam operation. I don't think he was involved in the scam, okay? And that's why I still listen to him. I think that he caught it at the right time. It worked for him really well, and so he told others to get into it. But he's an experienced trader. He's funny, and I like his story, man. He came from working a dead end job, traded crypto and stocks and whatnot, and bossed up, and now he just does this for a living, and trades and takes care of his daughter, and I can relate to dude, you know what I mean? And I think he's this new channel that he's made, I think, is offering you insight into some of the less popular coins that have a potential to do very well. And that's why I listen to Trevon James, because he's looking for those home run hitters. With Bitcoin and Ethereum, are you going to hit a home run? Yeah, you totally could with that, right? 100%. But with him, he's looking at coins where you might only need to drop $1,000 into there, and you can make money. And there's and he's also got a ton of different other ways to make money on top of just trying to hit a home run all the time. So yeah, man, Trevon James, dude, a lot of people who probably a lot of people I mentioned before, if they were watching this video and if they saw me pull up Trevon James, they would be like, dude, what are you talking about? You telling people to listen to Trevon James? And I'm telling you, I'm just keeping it real, okay? I'm giving you the backstory on this guy. I still would watch him, okay? And there's nobody who I would just watch and just blindly follow to the ends of the earth. And I'm not saying to do that with every single person I mentioned, but I like these guys. All these guys, I like them. All right, here we go to Crypto Daily. When he should be really called like Crypto Monthly nowadays, dude, because he does not upload daily anymore. He used to. When Bitcoin was doing really well, he was uploading. Even when it wasn't, right? Like for up until like early 2020, this dude was just, he was on a roll. He would upload every day. He would do daily videos, and he was really funny, kept it real. Also brought up unique perspectives, and he's just a good dude to watch. You can watch all his videos, and you can kind of see. This is basically like a chronology of where the crypto space has come from. You know, if you started watching a video from 10 months ago and you just kept watching, you would be, you know, pretty well caught up on the last 10 months of what happened in Bitcoin. And that's why I like, you know, Crypto Daily. He's dope, man. I like this guy. I don't even know a lot of these people's names. And then the last one I'm going to talk about, we got Altcoin Daily. Now, Altcoin Daily, I only started watching him maybe like 6 months ago. And I think it's 2 guys on there. But I like their content, and they have really short videos. And I think that's what is also attractive to watching it. But, you know, they're not, and they're also kind of middle of the road type of guys. They don't necessarily lean one way or the other. And that, I think, is a cool perspective to look at. And so looking at this wide range of people for different reasons is, I think, a good thing. It gives you a balance, you know, and they don't all agree, which is another thing I like. They don't all agree on the same, you know, perspective of what the news is looking like. And we're live, guys. Ivan on Tech is another channel that I watch. I kind of forgot to include him in the list, but I watch him almost every day. He comes to you every day at 8 a.m. like an atomic clock. All right, and Ivan is actually a programmer, and he's a coder, and he teaches coding and programming on the blockchain, and coding and programming with certain languages and whatnot for computers. So this is another guy that I look to from that perspective, you know, that real techie programmer perspective. And he also has a ton of people that he features on his show every day. He's got a huge community. There's a class we want to take from him, I believe. I think Lucio was telling me that we're going to take it, but it's going to teach you how to program, how to be a coder and whatnot. And if you want to take it, you should take it. He's dope, man. This guy is a good dude, and legit knows what he's talking about. Yeah, subscribe to him for sure. Check him out, especially when you're looking at things from a tech perspective. Like if you want something broken down into how it works, you know, how do Ethereum smart contracts work? How is the Bitcoin supply, hard capped on, on the Bitcoin blockchain? This is the guy you want to watch. And there's also another guy I'm going to pull up, Nicholas Merton, I don't know, I forgot. But his channel is Datadash. This is just like Trevon James. This is another controversial guy I'm gonna bring up that people are gonna be like, "What, Datadash?" Oh, especially Chico Crypto, man. He's gonna be like, "What, Datadash?" Look, to keep it real, Nicholas Merton, I've gotten a ton of good info from him about trading, right? So he brings in some of the news. His background is primarily in stocks and finance and commodities, so he comes from that world. And of all these traders, I think BK is the closest one that does come from that world. But Nicholas Merton, you could tell from his videos, he's like really well rooted in that world, and that's where he stems from. But now he's in crypto, and he's been in crypto for a while, like since before I got into it. And he offers what I think is good technical analysis, but also, you know, when you want to talk about the impacts of finance policies and regulations, new players coming into the space, Nick offers like a lot of really good points, man. The reason why he's controversial is because he has shilled, and shilling is when you just like shamelessly promote another coin. He's shilled coins. He's been paid to shill coins and didn't reveal that until afterwards. He did come clean, I think, once or twice about a coin that he got paid to shill on, and you know, that's something to take with. There's something to consider if you're gonna listen to him, okay? But for the most part, man, I would listen to him. I don't listen to him every single day, but if I'm looking for, let's say, you know, a new tax policy got released in the U.S., right? Because that's where I live. If a new tax policy got released in the U.S., I'd look at all the guys that I looked at to see if they talked about it, see what they said about it, and I would also pull up Datadash to see what he had to say, because I think he has a valid opinion. He's got experience in a world that I'm not experienced in, and in a world that I don't really want anything to do with, but also in a world that is closely tied to banking regulations and finance regulations, and he's very familiar with that. And you know, the overall economy is something that you also want to consider when you're trading anything, but also trading crypto. And Datadash provides some great insight into that overall economic landscape. You know, the you know, finance theory and all this kind of stuff. He offers that, and I like that. But yeah, he did shill a few coins. Okay, so I hope I gave you the real about all these guys from what I can understand. You know, other than Trevon James and Datadash, you know, these other guys I haven't found to be, you know, having blemishes on their record. They mostly just keep it real and just try to tell the truth the way they see it. Have they been wrong? Yes, like everybody has been wrong about something. Okay, but and you know, don't tell me you found somebody that's just right 100% of the time. It's impossible. But for the most part, you know, I like these guys. So yeah, kudos to all of them. I thank you guys all for your contributions to the crypto community, you know, traders out there, and myself, my friends, and my family, you know, that have invested in crypto and Bitcoin. You know, I appreciate that. Appreciate the content you guys put out. I would not be here were it not for these YouTube channels and these content creators right here, these traders, these you know, educators. So yeah, hope this video was helpful. I'm gonna leave links to all their pages in the comments. Like, subscribe, comment down below if you feel the same way. But yeah, peace.